Imagine being a high school senior or even a college student, and you're just starting off and everything's going well, and then all of a sudden the debt of college starts to weigh heavily on you, and it starts to constantly pack up, and you're taking out loans 10,000, 15, 20,000, and eventually it gets to a point where you know that you can't even afford to go to college anymore. Many high school students that are continuing to get their high school graduation and their diplomas are facing these problems because a lot of these students that get their diplomas, less of them are even less of them are enrolling into college today. Hi, my name is Taylor Washington, and today I'm going to be persuading you on why tuition in the United States should be free. And according to the www.usnews.com, there's an article on there that says 3.9 million students dropped out of college with debt in 2015 to 2016. And that's a lot of kids dropping out within a year span. And today, some of the main points I'm going to be talking about are in my speech are the problems that students face when attending college, as well as what happens and the results of these problems, and lastly, a couple of solutions when facing these issues. One thing that we come across in my research is that college tuition is very expensive. And according to the article, The Rise and the Fall of College Tuition in Inflation, their statistical data shows how college has steadily increased from the 1980s to 2016. And the article also even states that the cost of college tuition increased rapidly from 1980 to about 2004 at a rate about 7% per year. So imagine you're going to college, and every single year the tuition is increasing by 7%. And for many of the students, it was hard for them to constantly try to keep up with these changes. And when the tuition is constantly increasing at a steady high rate such as that, it makes it harder for students to afford it. And because college is so expensive, if students don't drop out, they eventually end up with a lot of debt, and probably a lot more debt when having their bachelor's degree, opposed to dropping out a lot sooner, opposed to those people that drop out a lot sooner. And for those people that do drop out, it's hard for them to pay it back because they don't have the education to be able to obtain a high paying job to pay those funds back. And according to the article, effects of college educational debt on graduate school attendance and early career and lifestyle choices, the author, Lei Zhang, states that in 1993, 49% of those bachelor's degree recipients in the United States of America had borrowed to finance their undergraduate education, while by 1999, this percent had increased to 65%. And that shows that within a span of 6 years, that percentage increased by 16%. And these students that are obtaining the bachelor's degree, they're taking out a lot more money to be able to afford to stick to getting their degree and being able to stay in college. Another point that I would like to make is that attending college and obtaining or even not obtaining a degree affects the unemployment rate. And I found out that the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics show that the unemployment rate for college graduates is only 2.5% compared to the people that either dropped out or they didn't get a college education at all, and their percentage was about 3.8% according to the statistics in 2017. And with all this information, there should be some solutions and to creating a system that will help to become free and help students alleviate them from the debt and hopefully be able to create a tuition-free system. And if you look at governments such as Germany's, which is quite different from the ways of the United States of America, which is more capitalist and consumerist, and we are constantly finding ways to make money. And for Germany, they're different. And according to the article, Study in Germany for Free, What You Need to Know, they state that Germans generally believe that education should not be treated as a commercial product, and that free access to higher education ensures economic growth and welfare for the greater population. So with that mindset alone, they believe that these people deserve to have a higher education, so that way it will help the economy grow as well as the welfare of the economy. And as well as Germany also has German citizens also pay higher taxes, which plays a huge role in the tuition cutbacks for German students and students that are able to study in Germany. And so I believe that if the United States incorporated that into the system, then we would be able to cut a lot of tuition. Lastly, just to sum everything up, today I convinced you on why tuition should be free in America. I talked about what happens when students are in college and they can't afford it. I talked about students that dropped out. I talked about the unemployment rates that affect these students. And I also talked about the way that other countries successfully handle being a tuition-free system. I hope that today persuaded you to think about having a very tuition-free system, and that will help us to build a great society, a better society for everyone in the end. Thank you.